YouTubers, Mike Martin's here with the Mike Martin's channel. Guys, thanks for joining me. I got a story and a half follow-up from the other story. So, guys, thanks for tuning in, joining, subscribing, and being part of the channel. Guys, okay, while the whole world is so baffled about the Canadian concentration camps or FEMA camps, they're looking to build and round up people and all this stuff. Well, it's the sleight of hand, twist of faith. What's happening? Well, something else is happening. And while everybody's looking what the right hand is doing, no one's really paying attention to the left hand, and this is what you should be looking at. So I posted this 3 weeks ago under our community chat. Central bank assets growth for the balance sheet assets. This is year-over-year growth. This is the Bank of Canada right here. So I did a video on this. There's a link to it if you want to see that video first. You could go ahead and see that. So there's the Reserve Bank of Australia, Japan, and this is an accurate one because you look at the Federal Reserve back in 7 and 8, you see it right there, obviously doing its quantitative easing and buybacks and buying bonds and treasuries and all kinds of stuff right there, right? Now look at Canada. Whoa, 456 points. Now, this article comes out 2 days ago. Bank of Canada is overdoing it in QE. Report says. A report from the National Bank says the central bank should relax its bond buying program. Again, I think it went way too far. I think this went crazy. So they want to kind of adjust to inflation or get inflationary levels to a certain point. That's why they're doing this. But I think this is going to backfire a lot worse than all the FEMA camps and all those roundup programs and COVID-21 and all that stuff. I got that back in March, and the dates have changed several times on that letter. And yeah, and if for those of you that don't know, America has FEMA camps, and the biggest FEMA camp they have is in Alaska. So they've had them for years. So let's move on here. Canada is overdoing it. So this is what people should be really looking at right here. No one expects Bank of Canada to move rates later this week. So rates are a historical low. Rates should be at 4.556%. Should be nice and high right now because right now everything is weakening, and we needed to raise rates back in 2016, and we never did. Okay, basically we started lowering rates and creating first-time home buyer programs, and then just creating a bigger artificial bubble and basically destroying what left we have in our country. Or anytime soon for that matter. The National Bank of Financial, NBF, would like the central bank to start paring back its quantitative easing. So, these efforts are good, guys, but maybe start cutting it back, right? In a research note, NBF said the bank's policy rate is expected to remain at its rock bottom level of 0.25% at its rate decision on Wednesday, and unlikely until 2023 at least. So this is going to go into stagflation. We're going to see a Japanification, but the problem is things might lock in at prices where no one could buy anything. In Japan, you can still get in and buy a condo for 170 grand in Tokyo. You can't get into a condo in any major city in Canada and still buy a condo for 170 grand. That's the problem we have. So that's one thing we're looking at too here on the channel. So while the rate decision is in no doubt, NBF said there should be greater debate about the path of quantitative easing, the Government of Canada bond purchasing program. So this is what everyone should be looking at today. This is what people should be protesting about. This is what people should be discussing because it's their futures that are being hindsighted and sold out and kicking the can down the road. So watch this. The bank's program is proportionally much larger than the Fed is doing so. Relative to the size of the economy, population, and deficit, the report says. Most striking of all, Bank of Canada's current QE program is almost 6 times larger than the Fed when scaled to outstanding bonds. So it goes back to this that I posted a few weeks ago here on the channel. So there it is right there. And that's from Bloomberg, by the way. Okay. Before the pandemic hit, Bank of Canada owned less than 15% of outstanding federal government bonds. The NBF said, thanks to its QE program, the bank will own around 40% of its outstanding federal bonds. 40%. So the federal government will be the biggest bond purchaser in the world. The Canadian federal government will be buying its own debt and bonds. And they're going to expand that even further. So, wow. They might widen that. So watch out for that, eh? 40% of its outstanding federal bonds by the end of 2020 and could be closer to 50% at this time next year, the report suggested. heavy and underlying Bank of Canada bond buying has already resulted in the market distortions, very important right here, including a noted erosion in the secondary market liquidity down the curve, the place where liquidity is perhaps most vital. Bearing operational changes, this market dysfunctionally will get worse, it said. NBF argued that the central bank should look to pare back the pace by borrowing to bring it more in line with the Fed's level. If the markets are telling us anything, it's that buying Canadian $5 billion a week outstanding federal government bonds takes too much product out of the market, it said. A sensible solution would see the Bank of Canada slow the pace of buying, mostly down the curve, making less of an adjustment in 5 years out, it suggested. That's definitely, obviously, more sensible. Now, you go into this. Now, Bank of Canada will maintain current level of policy rate until inflation objectives is achieved, recalibrates its quantitative easing program. So they want to, let's go to this is from like Canada, Bank of Canada, right? This is Bank of Canada website here. So let's go here. And where is it here? Yeah, right here. After the decline of 5.5% in 2020, the bank expects the economy to grow almost 4% on the average in 2021 and 2022. Growth will likely be choppy, and domestic demand is influenced by the evolution of the virus. So they're actually banking this. They're banking this on hoping that the economy comes back that many percentage points, right? So the borrowing, what was it, $4 billion a week? They listed 5, I think. The Government Council judges that this combined adjustments in the QE program is providing at least as much monetary stimulus than before. We know that from the other article. But there was something here I know I saw that was really impertinent about inflation. Here you go. The Bank of Canada maintained its target overnight rate at the effective lower bond of 0.25%, with the bank rate at 0.5% and the deposit rate at 0.25%. The bank is maintaining its extraordinary forward guidance, reinforced, supplemented by its quantitative easing program. The bank is recalibrating the QE program to shift purchases towards longer-term bonds, which have more direct influence on the borrowing rates that are most important for households and businesses. So that's who's really going to be affected here when this backfires. So this is pretty scary, guys. I kind of wanted to discuss this because this is huge. And Canada, basically, I think this whole FEMA camp thing or internment camps, every country's got something like this. So it's no secret, okay? But the fact that all over the world's talking about this. In Australia, they're talking about, look what's happening in Canada with this and camps and this and that. This is old news. I got that email. Hi, my name government super programs and this and that, and they're going to change the name and this and that, and they're looking at removing this and adding this and creating in camps and this and that. I got that back in March, and then I got it in April, May, June. Then I got it back in August, September, October. So it was something that was resent several times. So I don't know. It's no surprise that every country has something like this. Alaska's got the biggest encampment, if you want to say so, like the biggest, holds quite a few people. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is what matters. This is the front and center right here. Bank of Canada is overdoing it on QE, and that's it. This is what matters here, because this is going to affect all of us down the road. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Look forward to reading your comments, and don't forget to watch the first video on this, where things look like they were getting out of hand. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.